Hello common people, this is Common Guy Reviews and I am your lovely host, Pepse. This week we have a horror comedy with an interesting group. Bingo Hell is a 2021 American comedy horror film directed by Gigi Saul Gurlero from a screenplay that she wrote with Shane McKenzie and Perry Blackshear. This film is a fifth one in the anthological Welcome to the Blumhouse film series. Our story starts when a man named Mario comes home after selling his bingo hall, saying that he can now fulfill a promise to his wife, so they can leave this place, meaning of course, this town he is. Right after he starts gorging down some bingo balls in a serving tray, while ominous voice babbles something to him, until he chokes to death. Right after, an elderly woman named Lupina strolls around the neighborhood, talking to all her friends. She meets her friend Clarence, who owns an auto repair shop, her hairdresser Yolanda and her longtime friend Dolores. Also the local handyman Morris is present to fix some stuff up. This bright little town of Oak Springs houses a lot of senior citizens who have their ways of passing time. One of this activity is in their local bingo hall where they go and spend an evening, chatting, playing and taking a couple drinks. It is an interesting bunch of characters not only for their personalities but because they are all elderly. This is a group you don't really see movies made of, and it is like a fresh air in a dusty old house. Lupina's fiery personality, her friends Dolores a sound of reason and always tries to slow Lupina down. They have a history where this town has seen many things from gangs to greedy companies, and Lupina and her friends have always gotten rid of them. So it is not surprised when they all are shocked when they hear that the Mario have sold the bingo hall and now the new owner is in. This time it is no longer a homey place with the barely working lights, it is a whole hall of entertainment flashing neon lights and promises for the better. In the center of all this is Mr. Big, a quite peculiar individual who is setting his goals to bring life to this little town. However, Lupina and her friends are not amused, because they see this stuff as yet another big corporate cash grab that has come to take their money and exploit them. All that is quickly pushed aside when one of the locals win $10,000. A woman named Raguel, who is a mother of a grandson of Dolores. And this woman was also widowed when her husband died. Now she has money, and what does she do? Abandon her son Caleb to his grandmother and leaves to spend it big. Karma is a bitch though. When she goes into her motel room to check her newest stuff, Mr. Big then makes her hallucinate, so she thinks that she's ripping her dress off when it's really her own skin. How Mr. Big is doing this? No clue. But it has something to do with the stamp he puts on player's hand. I would guess that he eats their soul or something. Getting some life power. Tasty stuff. Really fast these weird deaths come to light and Lupina has to fight once again, but this time against some supernatural forces. What happens? Does she win? Does she get help from her friends? You can find out by watching this movie by yourself. I really like this senior citizen group. They were quirky people who had good intentions but were a bit too jammed in the place, stuck in this little town of Oak Springs. Mr. Big was a bad guy whose acting I liked. He was super smiley and talked like a big corporate cockroach he was. And it was great. Also deaths in this movie were nice. They were gory but without explicit images. They used camera angles well to hide the gore but sprayed so much blood around that you felt woozy. Characters had a lot of spirit in them. Clarence and Morris were close friends who shared a beer and played bingo together. Lupina and Dolores were lifelong friends who argued with each other with love. A broken family between Raguel and Caleb was sad, but nicely Caleb came through even he was so close to slip into the world of crime because he had no father and frankly not even a real mother, because Raguel didn't really care to parent him that much. That's about it. Solid movie. This was my review about Bingo Hell. A light-hearted comedy horror for your evening. That even with its main cast average age stayed fresh. This was Common Guy Reviews and I am your lovely host Pepsi and I'll see you in the next review. Goodbye!